Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is a digital asset space. Good morning, happy Friday. It is Friday. Indeed, it is. I hope you're excited about being an early adopter in this new asset class. Twitter has been pretty interesting. Listen, Brian Brooks speaks again. Wow. I'm going to share a little bit of that from the Wall Street Journal, just a little bit. I wanted to kind of remind some people about Uphold and the things that they're doing there. I just want to share one thing with you guys about that as well. Shout out to Jane Rule, XRP, and XRP Bully for sharing some information with me. I appreciate that, guys. We appreciate you big time in the XRP community, without question. And so the market is doing what the market does, as I like to say. I don't even know what is going on with BTC. Let me check my little Binance and see what's going on there. I don't even know. I didn't check at all this morning, but I'm sure it's, yeah, there it is. So 10.3 for BTC, just the usual stuff. XRP's at 24.5 cents. So it's been going up. Hope you guys had a chance to grab some of the XRP at 23 cents. I hope you got a chance to participate and buy the dip when the market was kind of doing what it is, and not that there still aren't great prices to be had and great purchases to be made, because it still is, without question, it still is. So guys, listen, I'm gonna rapid fire a few things here from Twitter. Again, I hope you are excited that you're an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. All right, guys, so listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news, and around 0 to 10 minutes. Let's do it. All right. So first, I'm going to share this thing from Barry Silbert from Digital Currency Group. Again, I think it's important to know which the space is just moving, and it's moving at a rapid pace. Listen, it's here. It is upon us, and it is going to grow. For those of us in the XRP space, I hope you have a long-term vision for what you hold. I know 900 plus days is a long time, but I hope you understand what you hold. I hope you have a long-term game plan for your XRP holdings, but let us not forget, you can participate in other digital assets in this space and get yourself wins along the way, right? You can 100% do that, because there are gains to be made without question. I just hope that you choose wisely, right? My caution to you is to be very, very careful in the DeFi space. Be very, very careful in that DeFi space. All right, so let's share this. Barry Silbert is on Squawk Box. Let's share what he has to say here when he was asked a question.
As the next generation,
what's the fair market value of Bitcoin? I mean, this is maybe the existential philosophical question here, but what do you honestly think it is, and how would you even decide how you were going to value it?
We look at Bitcoin as the next generation's version of gold. Gold is a $8-9 trillion asset class, and so I think over time Bitcoin is going to capture a larger and larger portion of that asset class. Look, Bitcoin is a couple $100 billion in value, and when you start having investors like Paul Tudor Jones and Mark Lazary and Chamath Palihapitiya, saying, hey, look, it's okay to put 50, 100 basis points in this asset class. It really doesn't take a lot of money to move a large amount of the gold market into the Bitcoin market.
And the great thing about what Barry Silbert is saying there, when he mentions, the few billionaires, if you will, that, have come out publicly, right? We've said this on the channel. They've been saying it amongst themselves, right? And discussing amongst themselves. But when they're willing, people like Paul Tudor Jones, when they're willing, Ray Dalio, when they're willing to say positive things about Bitcoin, which is just the poster child for the entire digital asset space, that we're moving forward in a big time way. And so I love what he says there, Barry Silbert says there, because it doesn't take much. Tika Tawari has been saying this for I don't know how many years. It doesn't take much to turn this space into a $1 trillion space. It really, institutions and big players coming in here, they don't have to put 10% or 15% of their assets in this space. They don't, 50 basis points, right? And so it doesn't take 50 to 100 basis points. It doesn't take a lot to grow the space and turn it into $1 trillion space onward, progressing towards, capturing all the market classes, I believe asset classes rather. I believe it's going to suck up all of the asset classes. I truly, truly believe that. So let me see what else that I wanted to share with you guys. I think this is kind of curious. I don't know. It's King Solomon, shout out to Solomon, big time value add and community member to, and a big time value add to the XRP community, I should say. We appreciate all that you do, brother. I hope everything is well. Hope everything gets better for you and your family, brother. We are praying for you. So, interesting thing here in the New York Times. Utility settlement coin initiative is delayed. This is from the New York Times. Major bank-led digital cash settlement project gets delayed. A project involving 13 of the world's largest banks and aimed at launching digital versions of major currencies in 2020 is no longer likely to get going this year. The company set up to run the effort said. Technological development work on the previously named utility settlement coin initiative has progressed, but it still needs regulatory approval, said Finality International Chief Executive Ramayos Ram. It hopes to receive that approval by the first quarter of 2020, he said. So initially spearheaded by the UBS Group AG, the project has seen the works of more than 5 years and seeks to create a more efficient way for banks to settle financial transactions. For me, I think there's a reason for the delay, and I don't think it's about regulatory clarity, in my opinion. When the powers that be come together and they're going to say, okay, this is going to be the one, and this is going to be the one, and this is going to be the one. That's just what I believe is going to happen. And we shall soon see what that one is. So regulatory clarity, delays, I don't know. All I do know is this. There is a project, and there is a company, a Fintech company, actually a blockchain infrastructure company out of San Francisco, California, that has been progressing and moving forward. And although they still call for regulatory clarity, it's not stopping them from having an ILP and having an XRPL ledger and having an XRP and having a Codius and having a Spring project that goes out and develops more use cases. All of these things and having 300 plus partnerships, all of these things are still being done without regulatory clarity and or certainty. There's no delay in Ripple's play, if you will. So what else did I want to share? I shared that with you guys. This is an interesting thing here. And this is, I'm going to look into this a little bit further, but it feels as though they were able to take some bits and pieces out of the Blockchain Innovation Act and put it into another thing so that they can move forward. And so I think this is Soto saying this. It is U.S. Representative Darren Soto. Ron Hammond tweeted this out. What's going on, my friend? Ron Hammond. The name sounds very, very familiar. I know someone in the comments will let me know who this guy is. It sounds very, very familiar. But he tweeted this: great day for blockchain legislation. Awesome work at Bill Rockwood is moving this forward on the staff level. Okay, cool. So U.S. Representative Darren Soto. Today I'm joining the Energy Commerce to mark up and pass 38 bills, including Digital Taxonomy Act and Blockchain Innovation Act, as amendments to HR 8128. Together, we will ensure America remains a leader in blockchain technology for the 21st century. Now, I don't know if this is what they're saying is the Compete Act, but let's listen to Mr. Darren Soto.
Required the FTC. Mr. Chairman, today we will include parts of the Digital Taxonomy Act and all of the Blockchain Innovation Act in HR 8128, the Consumer Safety Technology Act. As many of you know, blockchain technology is an exciting new technology to help preserve data, help with transactions, help with the defense of our country, communications. And first we see in the Blockchain Innovation Act that'll direct the Department of Commerce in consultation with the FTC to conduct a study and submit to Congress a report on the state of blockchain technology and commerce, including its use to reduce fraud and increase security. This is along the way to our long-term goal of setting up a blockchain center of excellence within the Commerce Department, and parts of HR 2154, which would require the FTC to submit to Congress a report and recommendations on unfair and deceptive trade practices in digital tokens. This is also along the road to setting up a jurisdiction between the SEC, the CFTC, and the FTC.
Great stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely great stuff there, right? And so they continue to push forward. You know, I did a video yesterday on the Compete Act. So they're, you know, for me, they're continuing to move forward on something that they know they always plan to move forward in any case. And so this is absolutely exciting. Shout out to U.S. Representative Darren Soto. We appreciate, man, we appreciate what you do. We appreciate your efforts. We appreciate you taking your time, your energy, and resources to continue to push forward and for this new technology so that it can benefit, you know, more and more people. In the end, financial inclusion is going to be massive because of blockchain technology. That is the bottom. This is technology that's going to improve the lives of every day, right? The average Joe on the average Jane. This technology and this new asset class is going to do that. And so this is part of the whole leveling of the playing field. And so, you know, he said all of the Blockchain Innovation Act and some of the Digital Taxonomy Act is going to be pushed. So this is going to be pushed. And then this amendment, HR 8128. I love that they're putting a blockchain center together, looking to ultimately put a blockchain center, I believe is what he said, together as well. And so, yeah, moving forward is cool. I think there's a bigger and grander plan. And I do things that, you know, I do think the things that they show us are things that they just want us to see, right? I think there's a bigger plan and a bigger play. And if, you know, one thing I'm pretty confident in is that the U.S. is, you know, they don't like being in second place, right? It's kind of first place or nothing, right? And so, you know, not that other nations aren't great, they are great, but the U.S. does go out there and make sure they can do everything that they can to be number one. So my point of all of that rambling is don't be fooled by the perceived, you know, the perceived notion, if you will, that the U.S. is lagging behind. I don't buy that at all. Let's see. What else do we got going on here? Did I want to share this? Yes, I did want to share that. Yes. Interesting stuff right here from Brian Brooks, Mr. Brian Brooks, the pit bull himself. Oh, man, love to see this dude get to work. Absolutely. Brian Brooks tweeted out, fintech firms are giving banking the jolt of innovation it needs. And look, you got to get how powerful that is. Look, this is a guy who understands the position that he's in. He's been in the banking space, right? He used to hang out with Mnuchin and some of the guy, the One West Bank, I believe it was, or West Bank. He came from Coinbase. He was a counsel over there at Coinbase. He's now the office of the comptroller of the currency, right? The dude there, right? And this is, fintech firms are giving banking the jolt of innovation it needs. It's a powerful statement. It is a powerful statement. And he's essentially saying to the banking community, look, if you're not going to get better, we're going to let fintechs who have the technology take your place. What are you going to do? It's ultimately on you. What are you going to do? And again, you know, it's, let's say 10,000 banks, Swift, right? Swift network, 10,000 banks. Let's not forget, okay, that, you know, the top 5 or 10 might not be so cool with that. But they're, you know, listen, they're outnumbered, and they have, they're outnumbered, and they don't have the people on their side that they would need on their side to delay and slow, and and not that there's not still trying to delay and slow things, but ultimately this is moving forward, and he's telling the other 9,990 banks, look, innovate or be disintermediated, right? That's the bottom line. And trust me, the other 9,990 banks want to, right? Right? They really do want to. Interesting, I'm getting these calls now. So there, let me read the rest of that. Fintech firms are giving banking the jolt of innovation it needs, but they'll be more stable. These fintech firms will be more stable. They'll be more fair and efficient if they are nationally chartered, right? And so, listen, the Wall Street Journal, wants you to put a subscription in for just to read an article. So I'm not going to do, I'm just going to read some of the article there, but I love that. Fintech can come out of the shadows. Firms, where is it? Fintech can come out of the shadows. Firms that make loans and process payments should be chartered and regulated as national banks. He may be talking about Uphold. He may be talking about, I don't know if PayPal is doing loans. I don't know. But I know he's, maybe it's Revolut. Maybe it's something like Uphold. Maybe it's people that are doing payments that are looking to do loans. Last I checked, Ripple was looking to get into the loan business. Giving them these chartered and regulated as national banks is massive in a lot of ways. And Ripple's going to be at the heart of a lot of different things, right? So it's going to be interesting to see the moves that they make. And being chartered as a bank is not necessarily, taking, I don't think it's, why should it be taking deposits? If you could make a loan and you're doing payments, making payments, taking payments, whatever it is, I agree with Mr. Brian Brooks. Why do you have to have a certain level of deposits? Why? Why do you have to provide checking accounts and savings accounts? Why? That makes no sense. So if it lends like a bank and processes payments like a bank, is it a bank? Maybe not. Depending on the outcome of a case pending in the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. In the lawsuit, New York Financial Services Superintendent Linda Lacewell claims a company can't be a bank unless it accepts deposits, no matter what it offers other services, no matter that it offers other services, like consumer loans, credit cards, and payment processing that banks have traditionally offered. This claim is legally and historically wrong, says this particular lawyer, Mrs. Lacewell, as well as risky. So this is in the court system right now. And I'm sure that Brian Brooks is aware of that. And I think this is maybe in response to him wanting to put this forward. It might be just that very thing when he initially put out that this is what he was looking to do. I don't think it's going to win. I think that Brian Brooks is going to win. I think that there's a bigger picture. Certainly the top, again, 5 to 10 banks, maybe top 5 to 8, I want to try to fight this, right? They 100% are going to try to fight this. So we shall see what happens. I don't think that they're going to win. The 5 to 8 are going to win. I think they're outnumbered. I think and what I mean by outnumbered, not just the other banks, I think this nations as a whole. I think that the overall pulse that has been taken, and trust me, when I say that the nations have been taking the pulse of the people, they understand that the people want a different thing. They want this new innovation. They want this new technology. And ultimately, like Brian Brooks says, is the market, right? The market is stronger and more powerful than those top 5, 8 banks. And ultimately that demand for innovation, new technology, better offerings, inclusion, all the benefits are going to outweigh these top 5 to 8 banks, just and overwhelm them, quite honestly. So yes, that was a very, very, very good article, or at least opinion from the Wall Street Journal. Shout out to Brian Brooks. The dude just keeps doing his thing. Now, this is an interesting article from the Cryptic Poet. He shared this on Twitter. Oh man, Ripple. Oh man, I gotta tell you, thanks Cryptic Poet for showing us, my dude. And no, you always find the nice, good stuff, brother. I appreciate that big time. Appreciate your work and effort. So this says Centenary Bank to offer Ripple partners, I hope I'm saying that right, Moneygram services at all 74 branches. Moneygram services at a bank. Let me say it again. MoneyGram services at a bank. Pretty powerful. Let's go through this article here from observer.ug. So this is Uganda. Centenary Bank to offer MoneyGram services at all 74 branches, written by Rose Muhena. Centenary Bank customers will be able to receive cash from over 300,000 MoneyGram locations worldwide after the bank entered a new partnership with the money transfer solutions provider last week. MoneyGram providing cross-border services in a bank. Uganda receives over 1.5 billion in remittance, or about 4.5 of GDP annually. Whoa. With most of the money coming from the Ugandan diaspora communities in Africa, Canada, the US of A, UK, the Middle East, and Western Europe, 1.5 billion. Last year, the Bank of Uganda noted that at least half of Uganda's remittances were currently coming from the Middle East, where at least 150,000 Ugandans are employed. MoneyGram is proud to partner with Centenary Bank, known for superior customer service and operational excellence. We are confident Centenary Bank will attract a significant portion of the over 1 billion remittance inflows into Uganda, said Daryl Peterson, MoneyGram Regional Director for South and East Africa. You get the sense about, is it Waxa, is it Huawei, something with Ripple, that Ripple partner with the W in Africa. Like, you see what's going on? You see what the Ripple is doing? It's pretty powerful. MoneyGram is becoming huge because of Ripple, right? The way that works is massive. It really, really is. It's genius in motion. And don't forget, Ripple is a partner of MoneyGram, right? So MoneyGram Region Director of Southeast Africa. MoneyGram already has an extensive presence in Uganda. With 1.8 million consumers in a network of 74 branches and 181 ATMs countrywide, Centenary Bank is the second largest bank in Uganda. Second largest bank in Uganda. Fabian Kasi, the bank's managing director, said MoneyGram is amongst the most reputable remittance services globally. Our partnership is another testament to our growth and our determination to offer quality and convenience to our customers and the public. Yeah, and I hope you get, guys, that this demand for being able to move money the same way that you move, the same way that you send an email is going to be the expected, and then it's going to become the norm. These days of 3 to 5 business days are numbered. They're numbered. So shout out to MoneyGram for getting this done and making that happen. MoneyGram in the banks. It's pretty impressive. Which one did I want to share? So I want to share this as well, just to kind of give you, and then I'm going to wrap up with the last tweet after this. I Am Legion. It shows here a timeline for the ILP and a timeline for NTT data. Let me show this to you guys. Stages of a protocol in the interledger, right? So concept 2014, experiments by Ripple Research. In 2015, the prototype, 5 bells, first ILP implementation. 2017, specification, the ILP version 4 is finalized. We were around when that happened, right? 2018 launch, Codius becomes the first live ILP app. Codius becomes the first. In 2019, first fiat ILP connectors are launched. That happened in 2019. 2020s is about growth. Number of use cases grows, and that's what exactly is happening now. But 2030 is the maturity of a thing. So to me, 20 to 25 is going to be absolutely significant. But 2020 is when it reaches maturity. So I just encourage you, do you have a long-term mentality? It doesn't mean that the price of XRP is not going to do things. It's, you know, again, we'll see in the 2020, it's going to, you know, that whole dollar or so is what I'm expecting or planning. And in end of 2021, I'm planning on a 20 to 26 XRP. That's what I'm planning. And we shall soon see how that goes. But look, this is, I think it's important to understand, given that what I just showed you. It's a great question from Anders L. How you doing, my friend? Another big time value add to the XRP community. On a global scale, an individual must have upwards of, let me ask the question first. Will you be part of the 1%? Will you be part of the 1%? On a global scale, an individual must have upwards of $744,000 in combined income, investments, and personal assets to rank in the top 1% of the world's wealthiest individuals. Will you be in part of the 1%? And if you have a long-term mindset, if you have a long-term attitude about what it is that you hold, if you understand how early you are in this new asset class, and it is an entire asset class, and you understand that you're going to be able to participate in a lot of different things, not just in acquiring assets, but to be able to participate in things like lending your XRP, collateralizing your XRP, and other assets. I hope you're thinking about the big picture. It's not just staking, right? It's not just staking. It's going to be nodes, right? They plan on being able to run a node. Plan on running a node be a normal. Plan on earning interest on your assets as a normal. Plan on leveraging your assets versus liquidating your assets. Plan on that being a normal for you. Plan on that being how you roll, if you will. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.